It is another beautiful day to talk about Nintendo Switch 2 news when we do have it, right? But I gotta tell you, there's not a lot of news, so I'm thankful that we did find this patent here that talks about the Nintendo Switch 2 and a potential feature or a feature that might be implemented into the display that will make the console a little more interesting than it is, right? It looks like the display is a bigger deal than we thought, so we'll get into that. Let's get started. Before we get deep into the video, I want to remind you guys we have two events coming up this month. The first one is in a couple of days. The Game Awards. We'll be live reacting to the Game Awards here on the channel, dressed in our pajamas, right? It's going to be a fun event. Wear your favorite pajamas, your Mario, Luigi. I have a Donkey Kong pajama I'll be wearing. And of course, the rest of the cast will be wearing pajamas as well. We'll have games as well to play during the event, and it'll be a fun time, right? The next event is our Christmas Merry Switchmas giveaway. We have one every single year. Back there, you see all those back boxes I have back there. Those are prizes that I've been getting from sponsorship. So, including a chair, a brand new chair, a Nintendo Switch, and there's so much more, like over 50 digital codes for games and a lot more. So make sure you don't miss that event. That's going to be on December 16th on a Saturday. I will put the live stream pretty soon next week, and so you can see a reminder. But for now, subscribe and click that bell for notifications so you don't miss more information on that event. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so first up, we have the Game Awards. Game Awards is happening just in a couple of days. It's an exciting opportunity for games to be displayed. You know, we have a whole bunch of games that will win awards, and it's an exciting moment for game developers everywhere to get nominated to win awards. But not only that, there are going to be game presentations or game announcements, right? Some say Nintendo has something under their sleeves, and we'll find out then. But don't miss out that live stream for that. The Game Awards is happening very, very soon. I think it's on December 7th. So mark your calendars for that. We move on to Xbox. I know that there was rumors out there, or there was like a lot of information out there about what Phil Spencer and the CEO of Microsoft said about, you know, bringing their games to different screens, right? They want to make sure that Xbox games are on all screens. Well, a lot of people took this to mean that, well, Xbox Game Pass is going to be on Switch and on PlayStation. Well, Phil Spencer came out and said, nope, that's not the case. We don't want to put Xbox Game Pass on Switch or on PlayStation, since that's basically the one thing we have that can sell consoles. And I believe them as well, because they're very lacking on their first party games, and so hopefully they do better in 2024. And in the last story before we get to the main topic today, well, the creator of Waluigi and Wario revealed that there was another character that Miyamoto rejected without even looking at it. That's just crazy. I'm talking about Wapeach. Wapeach has taken the internet by storm. Twitter just went nuts. X just went nuts. And I think that this would have been an amazing addition to the Mario family. And I think that there's still a possibility it could be when of course Miyamoto and Nintendo sees the amazing response that the public and the fans have given to Wapeach. Wapeach needs to be a thing. She looks cute. She looks incredible, and I love it. I mean, hopefully we'll get that done for Wapeach, you know, making her real. But in the meantime, I am working with the designer to make some Wapeach merch here on the channel to bring her alive, to keep her alive, right? Because right now she's nothing. She's not, doesn't exist. She's not copywritten. She's not, you know, property of anything. She's just an idea that they had, and we have the images here and everything. And so, Wapeach, we will bring you to life. The fans will bring you to life. We promise. We promise. All right, so let's move on to today's top story, and it has to do with some patents that I discovered regarding to the Nintendo Switch 2. And, well, I'm going to go over them with you right now. Let's get started. All right, so we are here at the patent website. We are here at Patent Scope right here, and then this is the patent that I was talking to you about. It's called the Input Device and Electronic Equipment Set. Okay, it's a weird name. Input Device. Input device input means your touch, how you touch the screen, how you communicate with the screen. So input device, the way you communicate with the device, right? And electronic equipment set. So I took some time before I wanted to make this kind of public, right, to kind of share it with you guys, because I wanted to really understand what it means and what it does. And well, let's go ahead and read here a little bit. I know it's not going to make a lot of sense, but I can translate it to you. I've been looking over this for a while just to make sure that I have it right. So it's an input device right here. It's attachable electronic equipment having a touch screen. Okay, 12, including a display portion. These numbers right here. So let's go ahead and read over the abstract. The abstract right here, this part right there, is a description of the technology, right? It doesn't really tell you how it's going to be implemented. It just tells you what it does, right? And we have it here in English, in French, and we have it in Japanese. So let's go ahead and read this really quick. It's not going to make a lot of sense, but I will explain to you what it actually means. So, and of course, these numbers that you see here, they're basically referring to like numbers that you see on the actual patent and then on the patent information here below. So it's like you want to know more about this number, it'll start here and then you'll go somewhere else and then you can read more on it. But for now, let's go ahead and read here. The abstract is an input device. It's attachable to electronic equipment having a touch screen, including a display portion and says here, capacitive touch panel. So basically it has a display portion and a capacitive is an important word, touch panel, disposed on the display portion. So the input device has a plurality of operation portions operable by a user and the plurality of electrodes and respectively disposed on different regions of the touch panel. So right here, so far what it's saying is that it has electrodes that are responsive on different types of the panel when the user interacts with it. Okay, so I just translated that little portion there, and then we'll talk about it more. The electrodes are respectively connected to the corresponding operation portion so that potential of the electrodes changes in accordance to operational states of the operation portions corresponding to the respective electrodes. Okay, and I think I'll leave it right here because I want to make sure that I explain this to you and I don't want to keep you too long here. But what it's basically telling you is that the screen will respond to your touch. And you say, Mike, well, doesn't every screen respond to your touch? Yes, it does. As a pointer or a cursor, right? You touch a screen and you click or you kind of drag things over. But in this case, we are talking about something even deeper than a regular touchscreen. I would call this, and this technology or something similar to it has already existed in the past, but is now being implemented into the games here, like basically a game device. And I think this tells us that the display is more important than it leads to be. Okay, so right here, I'm going to take you over the images, the drawings of what this is. And let me go ahead and look for the correct one because there's one here that has more information on it. Let's see here. I think this is the one. Okay. All right, so here we have the drawings. I know the drawings kind of tell you a better story, right? Here we have the electrodes here from the screen. And this thing here is a device. This looks like a switch, but it's really not. It's just like a part of the technology, right? And so this part right here goes attached to here. And we'll just continue to read here Chinese words. But these here right here, it's like this is the entire panel, right? And so there are all these little blocks here are the electrodes on the screen that will respond to your touch in a different way. And so when they do, you'll notice it because there will be two different things that will happen when you touch the screen, and it's depending how you touch the screen. And so I'm going to go over to another device here, another picture that kind of tells you exactly what will happen right here. So this is the first device here, the first one, okay? You see the little blocks that I told you about right here? These little blocks that we went over a couple of things ago, they are right here. This right here, what you see, those little blocks, then this right here on this image is the same thing, but this is now, facing up. And so when the user, you touch the screen, you come from here, then these little nodes here, these electrons will respond to you and give you a feedback. So you'll feel the touch. You'll feel the system. When you touch it, you actually feel it touching you back. Okay? Which is crazy. Okay? So this will come up like that. It'll give you like a response, haptic response on when you touch the screen. Okay? And so the same thing will happen right here. So if you see here, we're talking about the same exact little squares that we thought, but this time you're actually pushing on the screen. So when you push on the screen, it'll actually determine the pressure to what you push with. So let's call this 3D touch, because that's what Apple called it when they made it on their iPhone. It's 3D touch. The display will be smart enough to detect how much pressure you're adding to the screen. And so it'll also be smart enough to detect when you're touching it, so it gives you a haptic feedback so that you know that you're touching a part of the screen. Okay, so basically this is what it does. The haptic feedback, it'll detect the pressure for which you are touching the screen, and it'll also give you feedback on how or when you touch the screen as well. Let's go back over here. Back over here, right there. It'll give you the feedback to let you know that you are touching the screen. Now, why is this important? The first thing, I'm calling it 3D touch. 3D touch. Because it's like you're touching a 3D object. When you touch the screen, it's going to feel like the screen itself is coming alive to you. Okay, it's like responding to you rather than just touching a glass and moving things and dragging things around and selecting things. You're gonna feel like the screen is actually responding to you, like it's alive. Like if you touch a part of the screen, that little part will respond back to you. And if you push a little part of the screen, well, that part of the screen will also respond to you well. And one of the reasons why I think Nintendo did this, and it makes sense because Mini LED actually works great with this technology. The push and the responsiveness of the 3D touch, Apple has gotten rid of 3D touch because they switched to OLED screens, and OLED screens don't respond as well to 3D touch as LCD screens, which could explain why Nintendo's going back to LCD screens. And they basically are going to use Mini LED rather than the OLED, which is another great screen, which is the same, almost similar to the OLED, looks just as good, right? And so here we have this new technology. Now imagine all the games that Nintendo could use this technology on, right? You'll touch something and you'll feel it touch you back, and you also press something and you feel like you're actually pressing something, like you're making like a dent on something, right? And so yeah, it's called 3D touch. Basically, that's what the Apple called it. I'm not sure what Nintendo's going to call it. They can call it interactive touch, they can call it Nintendo touch or whatever, but this is exactly what the patent does. This is a screen, a display patent. It's a technology, it's a feature, right? There's no switch here. It's just a feature that they patented. And when it comes to features, they always almost make it to the final product, right? Because the feature just tells you about the feature. They don't tell you really much about the console. It just gives you a hint of what could be part of the feature. Just for example, when we looked at the Tears of the Kingdom patent, it told us about the features of the game and mechanics, and so those features and mechanics also made it to the Nintendo Switch or to the game itself. So, which is awesome. Let me know what you guys think. Does 3D touch does it make you excited? Because it looks like the actual display is going to be more than just a display for the Nintendo Next Gen system, and play a better part or a more important role than the Switch screen did. Because there's a lot of times where I don't even touch the panel on the screen. It's a touch screen and we don't even touch it, right? Unless you're playing on handheld mode and you want to go like this. But I don't really touch the screen on my Nintendo Switch, and I guess that this will actually help us kind of work with that, right? You know, it'll be more interactive to actually, you know, use the screen more in different ways. So that is it for this video. Leave your comments down below. Never give up. Journey on. Peace.